I'm Cindy Shu, and we begin with a tragic day for U.S. forces in Afghanistan. 30 Americans killed in an ambush attack on a military helicopter. CBS 2's Dave Carlin tells us this is the deadliest single incident for American forces in the war that's lasted a decade.
The U.S. military believes the twin-rotor Chinook helicopter like this one was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade, going down in a valley in Wardak province west of Kabul, an area considered a Taliban stronghold. On board, 22 members of an elite Navy SEAL unit, 8 Army and Air Force personnel, 7 Afghan commandos, a translator, and a specially trained dog. Among the dead, Navy SEAL John Brown, a native of Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
I just loved his country. When I think of the perfect soldier, that was John Brown.
President Obama at Camp David released this statement. Their deaths are a reminder of the extraordinary sacrifices made by the men and women of our military and their families. The helicopter went down as it arrived in the region to back up another unit in trouble during a nighttime raid on Taliban fighters. SEAL Team 6 is the same unit involved in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. None of the members who died in this incident were directly involved in that mission. Congressman Peter King said the best way to honor their sacrifices is to keep fighting.
These are the best of the best, and it's a tragic loss for the United States. I don't believe, though, that should be used as a reason or an excuse to pull out. If anything, those who died certainly would not want us to pull out.
Helicopter raids are a key part of U.S. strategy in Afghanistan, multiple times a night swooping in on Taliban fighters in the dark. But the raids are extremely dangerous for U.S. forces.
It certainly points out the challenge that we still have in Afghanistan as we are pulling down our surge troops.
The deaths in this incident bring the total number of Americans killed this year in Afghanistan to 297. Cindy.
Dave.
Off Long Island, I'm Drew Scott. We'll have more on that deadly crash in a little later, but first, it's being called the single deadliest loss of U.S. troops since the Afghan war began. 30 service members died when their helicopter was shot down while reinforcing other troops. News 12 Long Island's Virginia Huey has the tragic story.
It's being called the deadliest day of war. A NATO helicopter was shot down Saturday while on a nighttime raid in Afghanistan, killing 31 U.S. Special Operations troops. Among the casualties, more than 20 Navy SEALs from Team 6, the unit that killed al-Qaeda terror leader Osama bin Laden back in May. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the rocket fire attack, which killed a total of 38 aboard the Chinook helicopter. The other victims, 7 Afghan commandos and a dog. It crashed in the Tangi Valley of Wardak province west of Kabul. This photo captured the moment President Barack Obama received the news via telephone at Camp David today. Mr. Obama offered his condolences to the families of the fallen. In a written statement, he said, "We will draw inspiration from their lives and continue the work of securing our country and standing up for the values they embodied." The crash comes just as NATO is drawing down and handing over security control to national forces. 10,000 U.S. soldiers are scheduled to depart by year's end. The full drawdown is expected to take place by the end of 2014. But some coalition officials say Saturday's deadly attack shows how deeply entrenched the Taliban insurgency remains and how the war in Afghanistan is far from over.
It's absolute tragedy.
Congressman Peter King says there will likely be more loss of life as coalition forces try to stabilize Afghanistan and keep the terrorists under control.
Afghanistan is a tough war. There's going to be many difficult battles ahead, but I strongly believe it's in our national interest to stabilize Afghanistan. Otherwise, you'll have that area of the world become a sanctuary for terrorists again, and we're just inviting another September 11th.
Virginia Huey, News 12, Long Island.
Well, the identities of some of the Navy SEALs are slowly being released. One of them, a man from Tennessee. So far, 365 coalition troops have been killed this year in Afghanistan.